Now, career building has over the years taken on an added dimension, with the conversation expanding to include how young people can be packaged to be marketable even across national boundaries. Well, for a conversation, we now turn to career strategist Tinu A, who is a luxury career and business strategist executive. Hold on, let me get this right.
Resume.
Executive resume writer. I'm from the UK. It's CV. It's a CV here. A content creator and engineer, and the founder of the well-known Career Queens and Black Girls Normalizing Luxury Club on Clubhouse, which collectively houses an audio community of over 100,000 plus professionals. Welcome to our program, Tinu.
Thank you for
What a
having me.
stacked roster you have.
I know, right?
I know it is a lot. I thank God that you even said executive resume writer. I am certified, so I think I deserve that, right?
You do.
Thank you so much. But it's a pleasure to be here, and I'm excited to share what insight I have.
Yeah.
All righty, I'll go first.
Yeah, sure.
Tinu,
Yes.
when you talk about packaging young people, usually it's pretty easy. Perhaps if you go through traditional routes, you went to university, you've graduated, you did well in school, and there's a link between what you've studied and the arena you want to work in. Usually it should be quite easy, but like here in Nigeria, as we always talk about, unemployment, especially amongst the youth, is very, very high. So when you talk about packaging talent and candidates, what does that mean, and how can people package themselves in the best way?
Okay, so there was a lot in that question, and I want to definitely tackle the statistics in Nigeria, because the unemployment rate is very high. It's about 33%, and in most countries it should be about 3 to 7%. So in order for us to, I believe, be below that curve and not be so high at that number, one thing that we can do is actually get on social media. That's very important, because Nigeria as a country are very talented. We're very smart. Even when we travel to the diaspora, if we go abroad, we are like the people that are the smartest. We're the most intelligent. We can speak well. We can do a lot of things well. You have a lot of doctors. You have a lot of engineers. There are a lot of different industries that we are just doing very, very, very well in. But when we come to Nigeria, you see a lot of unemployment. You see it outside. People are begging on the street. But that person who is begging probably knows how to do makeup, right? That person probably is a great graphic designer. So one of the important things that I tell the youth here is that get on social media. LinkedIn is extremely, extremely important tool. That's the way that you can network. I find a lot of the people who work with me on LinkedIn. I find them on Instagram. I also find them on Facebook. So one of the things that you want to tell yourself is that, you know what, as a person, if I'm going to work and be who I want to be, I need to get on those social media platforms. I mean, there's a strategy to do it, but the most important thing is to know that life is an algorithm in general. So you need to beat that algorithm.
How profound.
I like that you mentioned networking as a tool for career building. Now, you mentioned LinkedIn. People will ask, okay, I am on LinkedIn. How do I know those people to reach out to?
So the thing about LinkedIn is you have to look at it as like Google. It's a search engine, right? There's so many different things that you can do. It's like magic, right? So even if you're a hairdresser, even if you're a cook, you need to be on LinkedIn. That is how you're going to advertise yourself. People are going to want your services. So it is extremely, extremely important to be on LinkedIn. Even if you're selling clothes, just because you don't walk into an office every day does not mean that you should not be on LinkedIn. It's so powerful now. LinkedIn has about more than 800 million people, users on it, right? There are more than 30 million companies on LinkedIn. So people are making money through those platforms. People are making money through TikTok. I'm pretty sure you know of this superstar. I think during the pandemic, he got very, very famous. He says nothing.
Oh,
yes.
Is it something? He's a Senegalese or something.
Yes, yeah. he says absolutely nothing.
But like, you know,
So yes,
very simple.
so I don't want people to just think that LinkedIn is the only platform that you can, make money or sell your services. It's more than that. It's social media, because it became very, very big during the pandemic. A lot of people lost their jobs, right? So that number will continue to get higher if people, like every single day you have to wake up and say to yourself, how can I beat that curve? How can I be better than I was yesterday? So it's really, really important. If you want to win, you have to think like a winner, right? You need to get to the finish line before someone else does.
Okay, there is a correlation between employability and education.
Right.
Skills, training. Many young Nigerians who are not in employment are probably unemployable because of the skill sets that they lack. When you engage with Nigerian youth here and there, which gap do you notice, and how do you think that it could be bridged? Because yes, not everybody will be on LinkedIn or on social media because they've got nothing, absolutely nothing to sell, on social media, except of course you are creative and stuff like that. But then, if you have to fit into the sort of luxury career clubs that you're talking about, what will you expect of them, and how will you guide them to be better?
Okay, so that's a great question. Okay, so one of the things I see, because I look at thousands of resumes, right? If we're still printing out a resume today, and I said, you know what? I want your resume. I want to see your resume, and then I look at it. I don't see any skills. I don't see a summary that's impactful. I don't see any value that you're going to add to my company. I'm not going to hire you. So I said life is an algorithm that you have to hack. So if someone says, just bring me a great resume, if you bring me a great resume, I'll hire you because you've sold me, you have to look at yourself as a marketing tool. Every place you go, if I'm on TV right now, that means that I need to bring in views, right? I've added value to the station. So it's not what you do. How have you added impact? What was the outcome? So Tinu now comes on Arise and brings in 30,000 viewers instead of Tinu just coming on Arise. Yeah. There are 300 people that can do that. But I've came on it and I've added 300,000 viewers to this station that are tuning in right now. So everyone needs to bring in value. So I don't want to just see task-based bullet points. I want to see bullet points that have impact. And how you can create that, and if you want to write it down too, this is great. Use the WHO method, take notes. So the WHO method is what have you done, how have you done it, and the outcome. So I've literally just made an impact because I taught someone how to create a bullet point that they can put on their resume. And then the number one thing, since we're in a digital world right now, is making sure that you hack the ATS system, especially if you're a Nigerian that wants to go abroad. A lot of these companies like Google, Facebook, Amazon, Oracle, Microsoft, they're using an applicant tracking system, and I believe that Nigerians in general can actually work in these places, and we can rock. We can do what we need to do and make the money that we want to. And we can do that remotely as well. We don't need to be in a country to succeed. The grass is not always greener on the other side, but you make it green where you are.
I like that. Talk to us about the Black Luxury Girls Club. Did I get it right?
Yeah, so Black Girls Normalizing Luxury. Mm-hmm. So Black Girls Normalizing Luxury is a club that I created. It was so funny because it was on Clubhouse and I just started talking about it. So my mom, she's like one of my heroes in my life. She worked very, very hard, and till this day she's doing that. So I believe as women we should be independent. We should definitely do what we need to do to succeed and also have that voice. I teach a lot of different things. I talk about hypergamy. I talk about normalizing generational wealth. That's very, very important because these things are not talked about. Yesterday when I was doing my hair, I recently watched The Smart Money Woman on Netflix. It was amazing. So even just watching something that's educational, even though it's funny at the same time, but you're learning something, that's going to be very, very important. So I talk about different things, normalizing generational wealth, your finances, dating, relationships, a whole bunch of topics. And that community has over almost 100,000 people connected with me.
For people who don't know, what is hypergamy?
So hypergamy is generally just dating up. So it can go both ways. It's so yes, it's definitely dating up or within your class set. So I guess that would be a topic of a different day, but it's,
I would like to know.
I would definitely love for you to connect with us on Black Girls.
All jokes aside, it is interesting. If you're talking about normalizing generational wealth,
Yes.
I mean, what does that mean? Because usually it should be a very easy thing to do. If you've got wealth and it's lasted you throughout your own lifetime, the idea is that naturally it will pass on to your next generation. But that obviously doesn't happen for a lot of people, only because of economics. But is what you're saying that people have the ability, despite their economic situation, to create a generational legacy?
Yes, they literally can. At the end of the day, you can have $1 billion in your bank account, but if you're someone that can't sustain it, you'll be broke. Right? So normalizing generational wealth or a legacy is going to be very important. It has to be taught to you, right? Because I've even been in situations where I was that person that was like spoiled. I didn't know how to manage money, right? So it's really important to manage money, right? And if we go back to hypergamy, if you want to date up, you're going to want to date someone who knows how to manage their money, right? Not just squander it. It is definitely good to have nice things. However, you need to think about your finances, and these are things that need to be talked about so that with each generation, nobody's thinking about borrowing money from daddy or mommy.
Yeah. Well, that also links to networking as well.
Yes.
Like you just mentioned, this date up form of, making a legacy for yourself. Now, how important is that for you to be able to engage with high-profile people for your networking in career building as well? Okay. Is that something that you also do? Because while I was reading your resume, I see that you've supported over 1,000 professionals into positions like Amazon, Google,
yes.
and I mean, these are big names, Apple and all of that.
Yes, they are. So I work with a lot of different professionals, but my parents' prayer was for me to be better than them, right? So I would want the same for my next generation. That's why it's really important to empower people in general. So it is going to be very, very important for us to network. It doesn't mean we need to just network with big people. We network with every single person because I don't know who the next person that I meet on the street is going to be tomorrow, right? So don't just think, okay, if you see a big person, you network with them. Be nice to every single person that you meet.
That's why it's a network across. Sorry.
I
always say it's always good to network across.
Yeah.
Sometimes people think it's better to network up when it's better to do it this way. And then eventually you all rise up.
Right.
Go ahead, Steve. Sorry.
Okay, talk to us about the career queens that you founded, but talk to us about it within the context of the seriousness that you attach to LinkedIn, to serious career boosting usage of social media, unlike the noise that we hear about Twitter. I'm sure you know that the 7 months that Nigeria was out of Twitter,
Yes.
it's not. I'm not sure if Twitter is where you go look for job connections as such, but then that is the loudest of them all here. How does it work? Where should career queens or career kings should be focusing as far as social media is concerned?
Okay, so it literally depends on you. Whatever social media you're most comfortable with, you're going to want to, whatever social media platform that you're most comfortable with, you're going to want to definitely.
Continue.
I'm so sorry.
No,
so yes.
Not at all. Ududu, you look fantastic.
Thank you so
And you're speaking fantastically well.
Thank you so
continue.
much. So yes, so whatever social media platform that you're most comfortable with, start with that first.
Okay.
I know a lot of Gen Zs and millennials are on Twitter, but you can find a job through Twitter. There's so many people who have found partnerships. Like myself, I found it through Clubhouse, right? Who would think that a large audio community, you'd be able to find partnerships, and people are watching you,
I don't
right?
really ages to you. People know what Clubhouse is because I can tell you.
Are we connected? Because we need to connect.
We need to.
we need to connect on
Very Clubhouse is a platform that people use during the pandemic as well. It's another thing that became very popular, where you can have audio debates and conversations. A topic of conversation will be had, and then everybody can listen in and participate. If you want to
You're gonna kill us with all this social media.
Let me know.
It's fun.
I told you.
No, she's right.
No, she's right. She knows all these things.
She's right.
You're on TikTok too, aren't you?
So, like, the thing is, if you like TikTok, you're going to want to be on TikTok. If you like Clubhouse, you're going to want to be on Clubhouse. So for myself, I like to be on Clubhouse. I like to be behind the scenes sometimes, right? Just because I'm introverted. So don't think whatever you feel like is limiting you, it's really not. Just go for it and speak. It's going to be very, very important because it's going to help. You know, there's this saying that a closed mouth doesn't get fed. So that's very, very important. You need to think about that and what you do. So just do it. Whatever you feel like you're passionate about, do it. If you like doing makeup, do it. I don't like doing my makeup. That's why I always outsource and hire someone to do it. Okay. But I did it myself this morning. So kudos to me. Thank you so much.
Well done.
And the A in Tinu stands for what?
Right.
That's not what you
So the A stands for my last name, but I love Tinu A.
Oh,
yes.
that's what you go by.
Yes, I go.
Tinu A.
Exactly. But I love just being called Tinu.
All right, thank you so very much, Tinu. Career strategist, right?
Yes,
You know, I mean, it's been wonderful, having you around. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
It was
so
a
much.
pleasure.
All right.